Hello students. Today, we are going to learn about multiplication, which is a very useful and fun way of doing math. Do you know what multiplication is? Multiplication is a way of adding the same number many times. For example, if you have 3 groups of 4 apples, you can add 4 plus 4 plus 4 to get 12 apples. But there is a faster way to do this. You can multiply 3 by 4, which means 3 groups of 4. You write it like this, 3 times 4. The x is called the multiplication sign, and it tells us to add the same number as many times as the other number. So 3 times 4 is the same as 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 12. Today, we are going to learn about some important terms related to multiplication and properties of multiplication. Now, what would you do if we want to find the total number of fingers in 3 hands? We can count the fingers one by one. But this is a very long way of doing it. We can use multiplication to make it easier and quicker. We can just add 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. We can write the same thing as 3 times 5 equals 15. Here, the number which is to be repeated or multiplied is called the multiplicand. So, here the multiplicand is 5. Now, the number which expresses how often the multiplicand is repeated is called the multiplier. So, here the multiplier is 3. Thus, multiplier times multiplicand is equal to product. Now, look at this example of a chess board here. Tell me how many squares are there in this chess board? Well, if you count it one by one, it will take a lot of time. Here's a trick. Count the number of rows, that is 8 here, and then count the number of squares in one row, that is 8 here. Now, just multiply the number of rows and the number of squares in one row. That is 8 times 8, which equals to 64. So, in this way, multiplication is very useful to quickly count the number of squares. Now, let's learn about some facts or properties of multiplication. There are 5 main properties of multiplication which are as follows. First is the order property. 2 numbers can be multiplied in any order. The product remains the same. For example, 2 times 3 equals 6. Now if we change the order, it becomes 3 times 2, which is again 6. Let's look at another example. What is 7 times 5? Yes, it's 35. Now, what is 5 times 7? Yes, it is also 35. So, both expressions give the same answer, 35. The second one is the grouping property. The product of 3 or more numbers remains the same, even if we change the grouping of numbers. For example, 2 times 3 times 4. Here, 2 times 3 equals 6. And then, 6 times 4 equals 24. Now, if we group 3 and 4, and multiply it with 2, it becomes 2 times 3 times 4. That is, 3 times 4 equals 12. And 2 times 12, that is, 24. As you can see, both expressions give the same answer, 24. Now, let's look at another example. Can you tell me what is 4 times 5 times 6? Correct. It is 120. Now, tell me what is the value of 4 times 5 times 6? Yes, it is 120. So, both expressions give the same answer, 120. The third one is multiplication by 1. If we multiply a number by 1, the product is the number itself. For example, 5 times 1 equals 5. Or 9 times 1 equals 9. As you can see, the number remains the same. Easy, right? The fourth one is multiplication by 0. If we multiply a number by 0, the product is 0. For example, 6 times 0 equals 0. Or 9999 times 0 equals 0. So, 0 is like an eraser. Multiply anything with 0 and it becomes 0. Now, the fifth and the last property is distributive property of multiplication over addition. This property tells us how to multiply a number by a sum or a difference. For example, 2 times 3 plus 4. Here, we can open the bracket by multiplying 2 with 3 and 4. That is 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4, which is 6 plus 8. And that equals to 14. Try solving this one. 3 times 5 plus 2. Correct, the answer is 21. Let's see how. When opening the bracket, it becomes 3 times 5 plus 3 times 2. That is 15 plus 6, which equals to 21. With this, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed learning about multiplication facts. We hope that you have understood the concept of multiplication. Now, here's a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve NCERT-based MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for Class 4 and much more for your Class 4 preparation. Thank you.